The Buy Nothing Rebellion is silently reshaping retail as we know it. I first heard this term from a YouTuber named Timothy Ward. I heard it last night while I was working. The link to that video is in the description if you want to check it out. What most people don't realize is that this anti-consumerism movement could collapse entire industries built on planned obsolescence. Think about that. Planned obsolescence. It's incredible to me that companies would, and incredible in a bad way, mind you, that companies would manufacture and build products that are meant to not last. When was this ever a thing? They're building things of cheap quality with cheap materials, things that are going to break down, that have basically a predetermined shelf life, to where instead of being able to repair things or just bank on them lasting, quote unquote, forever, they last a few years, they break as soon as the warranty expires, and you're on your own because a lot of the time you can't even fix these things yourself. There's too much proprietary computers, there's too many diagnostics, there's things that you just can't do by yourself, and that is by design. It's a sad state, but it is something that is worth looking into and considering just overall in your normal everyday buying habits. This isn't actually about buying nothing though. It just sounds more catchy than buy less. That's according to Timothy Ward, by the way. It's about buying less, buying secondhand, buying from people instead of corporations. And again, that's from his video. But think about it. Think Facebook Marketplace or Goodwill instead of Amazon and Target or whatever you want to sub in for that, Walmart, whatever. There's a lot of things that I buy used. Most things I buy used or refurbished or somehow not brand new. Although a lot of the time, They look brand new, they feel brand new, they're in the original packaging, they have no blemishes that I can tell whatsoever. There are very few things that I buy brand new. Socks, underwear, of course, those are kind of the obvious ones because I hope you're not gonna buy that kind of stuff secondhand. I am also needing a wallet. And I did find a brand, I believe it's a German brand. I forget what it's called. I will link it in the description. It's pretty pricey, but it's supposed to last forever, way longer than leather, like 50 years. And it has a really cool design. It looks great. I've looked into it as much as I can. And I feel like, you know what? If I'm going to get something new, I do want it to last. So getting something like this wallet, iForm or iFit, iFactor, something, I'll put it in the description. And there's no affiliate marketing or anything like that at this point in my channel. So those are things that I'm buying new. Again, socks, underwear, wallet. Things that I'm buying used or that I have bought used. I recently just bought a pair of KD Elite 6s, which is Kevin Durant. They're blue and orange. They're from 2014, so of course they're not new, but I found one that still has plenty of tread on the sole. They look great. I've got them laying next to me. I can tell they're not brand new, but they are in very, very good condition for being 11 years old. I'm also going to get most likely a new graphics card. It's an NVIDIA RTX 2080 Ti. Came out in 2018. So for me, it's a huge upgrade, but it is still old, and I'm not going to be getting one of those new. I can get one for like $250 to $300. I'm not going to spend $1,000 on a brand new graphics card because I don't play games. I've mentioned that many times. I only need something that's good enough for what I'm doing and is a big upgrade over what I've been using. My watch, the Garmin Fenix 7 Sapphire Solar, for example, was an Amazon Prime big deals day deal. And it was also refurbished in excellent condition. As I mentioned, I couldn't tell that this was not brand new. It is really, it was awesome. Excellent condition, saved 53%. And also they were already on the Phoenix 8. So again, not new. That's just the way I go. The movement, it works like a forest ecosystem, for example, where everything gets recycled and reused, or like one of those earth berm houses, like Kristen Dirksen. Great channel on YouTube. She does a lot of really cool house tours, like really different and interesting stuff. And I remember watching one in the desert, Arizona, New Mexico, something like that. I think it was New Mexico. And it's super dry. There's almost no water, but this lady made it work. A lot of recycled stuff, the energy, the solar panels, etc. So, you're really not in a consumerism type of atmosphere or lifestyle. And I think that is really fantastic. I think that's quite a bit more extreme than I want to go. But these are small changes that you can make that I think go a long way. Meanwhile, corporations are hitting us with shrinkflation. I'm sure you've heard that word. There are plenty of videos talking about it on YouTube. They charge the same while giving us less. So sometimes the package is smaller, sometimes the package is the same. Think about potato chips, for example. All of the air in the bag, it looks the same on the outside, but when you open it up, you realize it is only like 30% full of actual chips. Not that I advocate eating a lot of chips, but when you see what a ripoff it is, hopefully that would steer you away from eating things like that, where you're basically throwing your money away for things that are not even healthful. They're also hitting us with things like, I don't even like to say this word because I don't like foul language. I know lame, but shitflation. That's lowering the quality and cheaping out on ingredients or materials. So that's where something might look similar, but they replace aluminum with plastic, or maybe they sub out like a raw honey for some kind of a Splenda or some other kind of cheaper sweetener. There's all kinds of things that they do. High fructose corn syrups, like in everything. It's ridiculous. So they're just switching out the ingredients or the materials for things that are cheaper, and they're either unhealthier or they're lower quality. They're unhealthy. Just there's nothing good about it except it's cheaper for the company to make, and then they pass it off to us as if it's the original high quality item that we had been used to. So it's pretty awful stuff. So by buying used, you save money, you get better quality, and help force corporate behavior change. Because if you're not buying their stuff, you're sending a message. And if it's a for-profit corporation or company, they, quote unquote, should be mostly driven by profits. And if they are not profiting off of a product because people are not buying it, and they're not buying it because they're telling the company, hey, this stuff is overpriced, the quality is lacking, whatever the case is, you are voting with your wallet. And that's always been the case. So as long as you give your money to corporations and companies that don't care about you and are ripping you off, they're going to continue doing it. And it's the same with anything, with movies. If you don't like movies, don't spend money going to movies, and it's going to send them a message. Video games, theme parks, sporting events, concerts. If it's too expensive and you're not getting value for it, stop giving them money and they will be forced to change or go out of business. That's just the way it works. They are businesses. They're there to make money. So, how long does your iPhone last before the iOS minimum specs get to the point where you can't even update it anymore. You're forced to buy something new, and they have this on a schedule. It's a science. Your new shoes, your Air Jordans, the soles start coming apart. There's holes in the toe box. There's the rear cushion, that nice soft bit. It always gets a hole in it. It's shredded. It's worthless. And I've got a pair of shoes that I'm basically just going to throw away. It's not even worth donating. And I think Goodwill is amazing. But there's also so much crap that fills up your apartment or your home. Over the course of years, it's just a bunch of stuff sitting around unused, just sitting there doing nothing, taking up space. So donate it. The Buy Nothing movement is already reshaping how millions shop, save money, and protect our planet. And it's not just a trend, it's the future of consumption. Please give this a thought. If you like what I'm doing, give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day.